What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 119, and we start today's episode off by seeing that Juventus have rejected our bid for Daniele Regani, their centre-back, who is out of contract at the end of the year. We can sign for free in January, of course, but in the last episode we sold Nkulu to Manchester City for £17.5 million, so I want to get a replacement in right now. He's 81 overall, 25 years old, he's Italian, of course, and you guys know I love to sign players who come from the same nation as the club. Got a whole series dedicated to that in Club and Country, so Regani for me will be a great signing. We upped it to £8 million, that's the second bid, and we shall wait and see what they say, because again, we can sign him for free and get him next year, and then maybe bring in someone of a lesser quality this season on a permanent deal. But I'm thinking to myself, he's 81 overall, he's 25 years old, I'm sure he's got even better potential than what he's at right now. I think it'd be a good signing on the cheap right now if we get him as a permanent replacement for Nkulu right away. But still, following that, how about that bid right there for Marco the Magician? Ryan Talla, Watford was saying, come back to Vicarage Road, mate. Seriously, we miss you. The gaffer's not coming back, but you can be our captain at Watford now. And of course, we said no, it's not happening. I said, you are not taking Marco Ryan Talla back to Vicarage Road. I'm sorry, but I need him here with me at the San Siro. He's my captain. He's my boy. You know, we're a partnership, I'm afraid. So if Marco goes back, I've got to go back as well. And right now, I'm fully focused on my job here at Milan. So either way, that bill was rejected, obviously. And Marco will be staying here. There's also a bid for De Chilio, but that also got rejected too, as he's our most experienced defender right now at 27 years old, if you can believe that. And we want to keep him here. So we take on La Spezia here for the first game of today's episode in the TIM Cup, otherwise known as the Coppa Italia. And we take the lead in this game through Gustavo Portillo, and what a pickup this guy's been as well. The Paraguayan came in on a free agent deal at the start of the season, just as a squad player, but he's been really, really good for us. His best performance, of course, notably came in that 3-3 draw against Galatasaray, when he came off the bench to turn the game around and get a goal and 2 assists as well. And in this game, in 43 minutes, he got a goal and an assist, and he's doing what he does best. He's a bit of a hustle player, this Portillo lad, reminding me of Carlos Tevez, winning the ball back, snapping the ball off the defender's feet there, playing it inside to his teammate, and it's a pretty simple finish for Patagna there. But I will say the goalkeeping, I mean, this team is a Serie B side, and it's pretty obvious. The goalkeeper is Serie B standard. That was not a good finish by Patagna. I think he's actually left-footed. I took the shot on the right foot. It had basically no power on it whatsoever, yet it still managed to find the back of the net. So Milan 2, La Spezia 0. The away side would hit the post in the second half, going in search of a route back into the game with 10 minutes to go, but it was how the match would end up finishing. Final score here at the San Siro, Milan 2, La Spezia 0, and we are going through to the next round of the Coppa Italia. Now, the board wanted us to reach the round of 16, and this was the round of 16 stage. So we're now into the quarter-final stages, and, you know, I want silverware in my first season with Milan, and you saw the team I put out here. You know, it was a really weakened side, because we were playing a Serie B side, but maybe I should start playing, you know, stronger lineups in this competition, because this is a winnable competition for us. There's no doubt about that. I mean, in this round as well, Napoli and Roma have already been knocked out. So maybe this is a competition we should be looking to win this season, as opposed to usually in my cup competitions in career mode, I just play the Resis and the kids in most of the rounds. But still, Juventus once again rejected a bid for Daniele Regani. Really frustrated about that. They didn't want £8 million, and it's not a real surprise because he's a really decent centre-back, and even though he's a squad rotation player, I doubt they'd want to sell him to a club like us who are on the rise right now and trying to compete for Serie A titles, what Juventus should be doing, even though they're having a poor season right now by their standards. But we offered £10 million, that was our third bid, and as you saw right there, Juventus did decide to accept it. So Regani could be coming to the San Siro for £10 million, and I would definitely take that as well, because again, I'll say it once again, I'll reiterate it once again, we could sign him for free and bring him in next season, and we'd have to pay £10 million, and then we could look to reinvest that money elsewhere. But with Nkulu going, I mean, you saw our lineup for this game against Napoli here. The back line is really inexperienced. De Chilio is our most experienced defender at 27 years old, and on the other fullback position, we got Capello, who was a free agent, Bangadino playing centre-back, who was a free agent, and his centre-back partner is Siligardi, who's 19 years old and was signed for £3 million in the summer transfer window. So right now, our back line is lacking leaders, and it's lacking experience, and in all honesty, it's lacking real first-team quality. So Regani coming in for £10 million, in my opinion, would be a steal. 81 overall, 25 years old. I think for £10 million would be an absolutely fantastic deal for us, and we'll have to wait and see what he says after we offer him a contract and see if he wants to come and join us here at the San Siro. So we do take on Napoli for the second game of today's episode here, back in the league on a pretty good undefeated streak right now in all competitions, which is really, really nice to see. So taking on Napoli here, looking forward to this game. Couple of good chances early on, and Muslera made another great save here in the 23rd minute. Not sure what's happened, but Muslera right now is looking like a much better goalkeeper than the one we'd seen at the start of the season, so I'm very pleased with that, and he kept the score at 0-0 there. Gonzalo Higuain had a great chance to open the scoring for the away side in the 33rd minute, but blazed his shot over the bar and behind for a goal kick. And with 3 minutes to go before the break here, we had one final chance to open the scoring before half-time. Donnarumma receives the ball, plays it through towards Martial. Lovely double step over here, takes it round Agbona, and what a finish by Anthony Martial as well for his first goal since returning from injury as he headbutts the corner flag in celebration. De Chilio jumps on his back, the team come to celebrate with him because that is really good to see because he's come back from injury. He's been in and out of the team since that's happened. He's had the plaster next to his name for quite a while. Hasn't scored since that broken ankle injury. I was wondering whether it would take him a long time to recover and get back between the goals. Well, it's January right now. He's only been fully fit for a couple of in-game weeks really without the plaster next to his name, and he does score here to make it 1-0 to Milan with a really nice finish. So lovely little feed by Donnarumma there. Nice ball into him. Lovely double step over as well to beat Agbona, and a great finish as well. So after the broken ankle, I was really fearing the worst for Martial. Would he be able to come back and respond? Well, he's already got his first goal since returning from injury here in January. Great to see, and hopefully that's the first of many more to come in the second half of the season, and that broken ankle would just prove to be a bit of an obstacle that he was able to overcome successfully come the end of the year. But in the second half here, 8 minutes after the restart, Napoli would grab themselves an equalising goal. I gave the ball away with my left back Capello there, showing the inexperience from me clearly. Tried to play it away, gave the ball away, the cross came in, and Gonzalo Higuain in the centre heads it past Muslera, and the number 9 gets goal number 5 for the season. So Milan 1, Napoli 1, and the away side are back on level terms. And after that, not much really happened in the second half. It was still 1-1 with 8 minutes to go. I was wondering if we'd be able to get ourselves a winning goal in this game, as we were going for it, and we would as well through, guess who? Anthony Martial, of course, scored in the first half just before the end, scores in the second half just before the end, and just like Higuain, he runs to the cameraman to celebrate as he scores and makes it Milan 2, Napoli 1, and puts us back in front for the second time in the game with just over 7 minutes to go. And for Capello as well, who made the mistake for the first goal, well, me controlling made the mistake for the first goal, plays a lovely through ball into Martial there, making up for the area, who slides in, puts it through the legs of Pepe Reina into the back of the net, and the goal settles the game as well. Great to see. Final score, Milan 2, Napoli 1. Martial with a double in this game, his first goal since returning from injury. Really pleased with that. It was a balanced game, and I do believe it should have finished as a draw. As you can see here, the stats were really even, and both sides did play very well. Pretty uneventful second half, to be honest, despite the 2 goals. But either way, I think a draw would have been a fair result, but we were more clinical. That's why we get the win, and we do claim another massive 3 points in the Serie A. And following that as well, how about this? Another bid for one of our Italian wingers, but this time it is not for Ryan Taylor, it's for El Shaarawy, but it's from the same club, Watford. Watford want to take El Shaarawy. They said, if you won't let us have Marco Ryan Taylor, at least let us take your other winger. I said, no, sorry, he's staying here. El Shaarawy's had a really bad season for us, I'm not going to lie. Only 1 goal so far in all of his appearances. Is a regular first-team starter on that left flank, but either way, I want to keep him here. He's 87 overall, one of the best players in the team, despite the fact he's not really performing too well on the pitch right now. So I want to keep El Shaarawy here, and he will be staying. But still, following out, I looked at the pre-contract players, like Abana pre-contract here, and there were quite a few that were available to other contracts too. Quite a few widemen I was looking at as well. So I put in bids here for Xherdan Shaqiri, Gelson Martinez, Eric Lamela, and also Adnan Januzaj as well. I was thinking to myself, you know, after the £10 million deal for Rugani hopefully gets completed, we won't have that much money left over to buy players on permanent deals right now. So I was thinking, why not play the pre-contract game, try and sign some players who we can get next season on a free, who we don't really need this season because we've got some decent wide players here, like Ryan Taylor, like El Shaarawy, Suso on the bench as well. So why not get a player in for next season, not worry about this year, and just end up paying their wages from next season onwards. So I put in bids for these 4 players here. We shall wait and see what they say, and any of these players coming in come the start of next season will be really good for us. But as you can see, Shaqiri declined the contract we offered him, but as you saw right there, Januzaj is going to accept his. But anyway, Ricardo Montolivo, the 35-year-old midfielder, is on his way to Udinese for around £3.2 million. They put in a bid of £2.9 million. He's under his valuation. I said just give us an extra 300 grand and you can take him. I'll definitely see them doing that, because even though he's 35 years old, Montolivo, he is 79 overall, so he's actually not decreased too significantly in stats. 79 overall. He's put in a couple of good performances for us this season as a squad player, but he's on high wages and he's only probably got 1 more year left in him before he retires. So I was thinking to myself, if he retires next season, at the end of next season, we won't be able to sell him, so why not try and sell him now, get a little bit of scratch for him. And as you can see, Udinese do come back to us and say, okay, £3.2 million is fine, we'll take him to our club. So I'm fine with Montolivo going. Again, a decent squad player for us. I don't know whether you guys are the same. I like having at least one experienced player in the team in the early to to mid-30s, or possibly even late 30s, really. Not for a realism feel or anything, just because it's kind of nice, really, a bit of a trivial thing to have some experience and an old player in there as well. But for me, Montolivo is probably going to retire next season. To get him out of the club now, to get rid of his wages, and also get a bit of scratch for him, in my opinion, is a good deal, and him going would be fine. But also another good deal has been completed here. We've managed to get hold of Daniele Regani. You can see his stats here, £10 million signing, and I'm very, very pleased with this deal as well. Regani comes in, you can see his stats right here, looks like a really decent defender, could get even better than he is right now as well, and hopefully that £10 million deal for him will prove to be a good investment after the sale of Nkulu for £17.5 million. So hopefully he will fill in Nkulu's boots and be a really good replacement for the Cameroonian centre-back as we sign a new centre-back for £10 million. But that is going to end today's episode of Career Mode though, guys, so thank you very much for watching the video. Really hope you have enjoyed it. If you enjoyed today's episode of Career Mode, then please leave likes, that's of course much appreciated, and it really helps my channel out. You don't have to leave a like if you don't want to, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.